Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and I am knitting. Not right now, but most of the time. And I have a lot of knitting in my future thanks to this very big bag of yarn that was dropped on my doorstep today. You see this bag, right? Like this is basically as big as my torso and it's full of yarn. You see that, right? Okay, if you haven't heard of Lauren of Treehouse Knits, you've got to check her out. She has some beautiful, beautiful yarn. I'll put some colorways up here and you can just kind of gaze upon the beauty. The tonals are so rich and vibrant with such deep colors. The variegateds are so layered and complex, and she also has some variegated colorways that are so light and airy, and it just looks like a cloud you could eat. It's just incredible. So you get the idea. Lauren makes gorgeous yarn. Now, a couple weeks ago when I was in Oregon, Lauren messaged me on Instagram and she said, "Hey, do you want to have a partnership?" And excuse me, but in what universe would I say no? Not any universe known to anybody alive. So of course I said yes, and she said, "I'd love for you to partner promoting the Favorites collection." She has her Favorites collection dropping on August 13th at 6 p.m. Central Time. If you're new to the hand-dyed world or the indie-dyed world, and you're not sure what Favorites collection means, I'll just take a minute and explain that. So yarn dyers often release their yarn in collections. That means it's typically a pre-order and it's based on a certain theme, and there are a certain amount of colorways that you can choose from. You then order your yarn, and then the pre-order takes anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks depending on the dyer's capacity. The yarn is dyed and then shipped off to you. A lot of times, dyers do not have colorways that come back. If you want a colorway, you should get it in that collection when it is first released for pre-order, because there is no guarantee that it will come back. However, as dyers grow, oftentimes they will introduce a favorites collection, or a greatest hits collection, it's sometimes called. And basically what that means is that dyer has gotten the favorite colorways of their audience or their customer base, whether it's their best sellers or they've polled their audience to see what their favorites were, or maybe a combination of those two, data collection strategies. And they then have a collection that is based solely around their customer base's favorite colorways. So that is what Lauren of Treehouse Knits is having for her next collection. And like I said, it's August 13th. I'll put that in the video description box. Okay, so now we've talked about what favorites collection means. She wants me to partner with her to promote it. Yes, the answer is yes. When she messaged me, she said, "I'll send you yarn for you to keep." And that is kind of vague. What does yarn mean? Is that one skein? Is that two skeins? What does that mean? But just one skein sounds amazing. So I'm excited. I say, "Great, that's awesome. I can't wait." And so she says, "Okay, I want you to pick 3 or 4 colorways that really speak to you and let me know what they are." And she sends me photos of all of the favorites colorways that will be part of the favorites pre-order. So yes, I got to see some favorite colorways before she posted them on her Instagram grid. So I was feeling really kind of like a celebrity to see those colorways before she announced them. But anyway, that was a cool feeling. So she sent me photos of all those, and she said, "Pick 3 or 4 that speak to you, and I'll send you skeins." And again, the word yarn is vague. The word skeins is also vague. I mean, now I know it's plural, so I know it's at least 2 skeins, but I don't really know, or I guess I should say at least 3 or 4 skeins if I'm picking 3 or 4 colorways. And so I say, "Okay, awesome. Do you want me to look for smaller projects or bigger projects?" And she said, "Bigger projects. I'm thinking a sweater quantity of whatever colorway speaks to you." And I was like, I'm blown away by this. If you're part of the knitting community or the crochet community or the fiber art community, you know that hand-dyed yarn it's not cheap, okay? And a sweater quantity, especially if you are plus size, is also not cheap. And so I told her, "I'm fat, right? Like, just because 3 skeins or even 2 skeins might be a sweater quantity for someone, whereas I typically need, 6 to 10 skeins for a sweater quantity. The exception, of course, has been my ranunculus, which was, a very loose gauge. I did short sleeves. Those both took 4 skeins, but typically I'm a 6 to 10 skein kind of girl. And Lauren was, of course, saying, oh my gosh, Rachel, like, this is not even an issue at all. I'm not worried about that at all. Pick whatever you want. And I'm just so blown away. I'm absolutely blown away by Lauren's generosity and the fact that she, I don't know, wanted to work with me. I think that's so exciting and so nice. So all that to say, I now have, I think it's over 30 skeins in this bag. Let's unbag this, and I'm going to show you the colorways that I got and the projects that I'm going to use them for. And I'm just so excited. Okay, we have see, some of the skeins are poking out. 2 beautiful full bags of beautiful yarn. Let's open it up. I can't believe it. What? Oh my stars. This is so beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 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 Are you kidding me? So I've already pre-cleared off a lot of the yarn from my lower level of my yarn wall, and all of this yarn from Lauren is going to fill up this, basically this whole lower level. So as I tell you what the colorway is and what the project plan is, then I'll put it up on the yarn wall and we can see it fill up together, and that will be kind of fun. Here's the first sweater quantity. The first sweater quantity of 4 sweater quantities. Absolutely wild. I'm going to be using these for a colorwork sweater called the Sheep Camp Sweater by Jennifer Berg. It's a DK weight pullover with a colorwork yoke, and I'm really excited to make this. I've been wanting to make it for ages. So this darker purple is going to be my main colorway. This is Smoke Show, and this was the best-selling tonal from Lauren's Riverdale collection, so a lot of people are really excited that this is coming back, and myself included, because look how beautiful this is. And then this lighter kind of gray purple is First Flurries, which is from her Gilmore Girls collection. And the base that this is on is a non-superwash yarn, and I'm really excited to try it. I know people have said that non-superwash is great for color work because the stitch definition is so good, so I'm really excited to use this non-superwash DK yarn for that color work. It is 100% non-superwash merino, and it's 246 yards per skein. So that is a great yardage, and I'm really excited about this sweater. Hello, this is Editing Booth Rachel, aka the Rachel that sits at her desk and messes with this in iMovie. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell you, while you enjoy these close-ups of these skeins, keep in mind that since they're dyed on non-superwash, the colors are more muted and toned down. So for instance, other bases of First Flurries, you'll be able to better see the variation between those pinks and grays and purples. You can still see them here, but they're much more toned down, so keep that in mind when you're ordering non-superwash. Okay, now that we have gone through the first sweater quantity, I'm going to put it up on the wall. This is my yarn wall, and I absolutely love it. It is, I think, like basically an art installation piece. It really just brings me joy every time I look at it. I use 4-inch hooks, and I'll link them below. Each hook can hold 2 skeins comfortably. Look how good that looks. It's like they were meant to be there forever. It's like they belong there, and they do. All right, next sweater quantity. Let's go on with our purple theme. Oh my gosh, there's so many of these. They're so beautiful. Okay, now to the second sweater quantity, 2 of 4. These are worsted weight skeins of Lauren's colorway In Bloom, which is also from her Stars Hollow collection. and it's inspired by all those bouquets you see throughout the inn and Lorelai's home, and it's just like so bright and cheery and welcoming and just like, I don't know, how can you not feel happy when you look at this colorway? I love it. If you haven't seen Lauren's Instagram post promoting In Bloom, go look at it right now, because I know it's called boucle, but doesn't it just seem funner to say buccal? But anyway, the boucle yarn to die for in this colorway. So go check that out. I'll put her Instagram in the video description box. But anyway, focus, Rachel. I had to adjust because there's so many of them that I dropped some. So that's why they're in a new position now. Anyway, these are going to be turned into the Lovable Sweater by Sylvia McFadden. And I'll either be knitting a size 11 or a size 12, depending on what my measurements are. I think that maybe my measurements are wrong or just like a tiny bit off. So I'll remeasure and then figure out which of those two sizes is the better option for my bust size. This is enough yardage for either one, I believe, so it should be no problem. These are on worsted weight. So this is Lauren's Redwood worsted base, and it's 100% superwash merino wool, 218 yards per 100 grams. Okay, so now that we've gone through that, let's put this on the wall. So just to bring it back to my yarn wall, if you have been thinking about installing a yarn wall for yourself, I definitely recommend it. I really, really enjoy mine, and I'm so grateful to have it. I have some lavender sachets hanging on the bottom row, and I do have a moth trap on the top just in case, but I really love it. It has served me so well, so consider it if you haven't yet. Look at that. Again, it just looks like it's meant to be there. Look at that beautiful purple blob. Focus on the purple, please. No, my face doesn't matter right now. The purple is the point. Just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, now you can focus on me. Okay, let's go to sweater quantity number 3. Okay, sweater quantity number 3. This is Rory. Originally it was titled Rory's House, and it is from, surprise, surprise, the Gilmore Girls collection. So this is an absolutely gorgeous skein colorway, gorgeous colorway of blues, pinks, dusty browns, there's greens in there. It's just absolutely stunning. And what really sold me on picking this colorway was a swatch photo that I found on Lauren's feed. I'll put it here, but it knits up absolutely beautifully. I'll be making these skeins into a field day cardigan by Ozetta, and I'll be doing either a 4X or a 5X. I need to figure out, I thought I knew the amount of ease that I needed, but I think I might have been wrong. But either way, this will be more than enough yarn. This is 7 skeins of DK weight yarn. This is on her Dove DK base, which is 100% superwash merino wool and 246 yards per skein. Okay, so now that we've gone through this colorway, let's put it on the wall. Okay, just look how good that looks. It's just looking better and better. Focus on that. Just absolutely gorgeous. The more yarn I add, the more gorgeous it becomes. And there's just this little space left, so let's fill that up. And I saved maybe not the best for last, but one that I'm most excited for last. And this was actually the first colorway that Lauren had as her favorites collection reveals. It was what functioned as the announcement that the favorites collection was happening in the first place. So let me grab that and I'll show you. Isn't it beautiful? Are you changed forever looking at this frame? Probably. I would be shocked if you're not. This is the Stories That Really Matter. This is absolutely such a gorgeous colorway, and it's a very meaningful colorway. This colorway is inspired by Sam's speech to Frodo at the end of Two Towers, if you are a Lord of the Rings fan. Fun fact, I used to be like a total diehard Lord of the Rings girl. Like from 6th grade for a few years after that, I read the books multiple times. I could read and write in Elvish. I was like incredibly deep in the rabbit hole of Lord of the Rings. Now I like my memory, like what's seared to my memory is more the movies than the books. So I don't remember if this speech is in the books. Sorry. I'm not a fake fan though. I was very, very deep into that world. But anyway, in the movies, this speech happens and Sam is telling Frodo, like, don't give up. We're doing something important and our story matters and stories can change the world and people are going to talk about this for years and what we're doing matters. What we're doing is important, even though it doesn't feel that way now. And I'm sorry, but that is an incredibly motivational speech and very deeply meaningful and just very special. So therefore, this colorway is very special. How could it not be? I labored over what project I should make this yarn with. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it was important to me that I picked a project that would really do it justice, and I settled on the knit along cardigan, or the KAL cardigan. The KAL cardigan is a pattern written by Claire Jackson of Perfectly Knotted, and I'll be knitting the size to have a finished bust circumference of 60 inches, and that will have a lot of nice, comfy, positive ease on my body, so I'm really excited about that and to be super cozy and comfy in that cardigan. You can knit this cardigan with a worsted weight yarn, or you can do what I'm doing, which is what the pattern is written for originally, and that is a DK weight yarn held with a lace weight yarn. So the bases that I'm using to accomplish that are the Dove DK and the Surrey Ash lace. The Dove DK you've seen by now, and again, that's 100% superwash merino wool, 246 yards per skein. And then the Surrey Ash lace is 437 yards per skein, and it is 65% Surrey alpaca and 35% silk. So what's going to happen here is this is going to create such a fluffy, cozy, soft cardigan, and I'm hoping, we'll see if I can get it done, but I'm hoping I can wear this in Ireland. So that is a project I really want to prioritize and, you know, put the pedal to the metal and get it done so I can wear it on my trip to Ireland, because even though this isn't like specifically green, there are greens in here, and it's just like, I don't know, such a beautiful, earthy, gorgeous colorway. So I think this one would be really fun to wear since it'll be fall, you know, autumn time, comfy, cozy, things like that. So let's put these on the wall. So if you watched my video where I go through all of my finished objects and I decided what I wanted to keep and what I wanted to offload, I did say that I don't really like Surrey and I don't think I need Surrey in my life. Well, guess what? I have the right and the ability to evolve and change my mind. And I'm sorry, but this project just looked perfect and I really wanted to try the Surrey, so that's what I did. So anyway, here's your sign that you can change your mind on something and see if maybe you'll like something you didn't like before, and that's okay. All right, look at that. The wall is now filled. How good does that look? Oh, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased with that. And while I was filling it up, I actually took 2 skeins of Treehouse Knits that I have already in my yarn collection, took those off the wall because these 2 skeins will also be present in the favorites collection. And this colorway, I swear we've seen this tree before. Both these colorways are from her Stranger Things collection last year. But this colorway, this green, particularly, is the colorway that I was convinced Treehouse Knits, Lauren, had magical powers, because this colorway is the richest, deepest, most full coverage tonal I've seen in my whole dang life. Ever. It's sublime. How is this even possible? I don't know. And then we have Hive Mind. This is also from the Stranger Things collection, and it is such a layered green. It has different depths of color. There are speckles. It's so rich and so layered. I'm absolutely in awe of Lauren's artistic ability and creativity and frankly superpowers, because look at this. Stunning. I got these two skeins together to make a fade. There's 3 other colors of the fade that I'm going to use. I'm not sure what project yet, but these will become a beautiful faded object of some kind, whether it's a garment or a shawl. I'm not quite sure yet. But all that to say, there is my haul of the Treehouse Knits favorite collection yarn. I am so pleased to be working with Lauren, not only an incredibly talented yarn dyer, but also an incredibly kind and wonderful and generous and creative and just amazing person. I'm so grateful to be working with you. If you're watching this, Lauren, I think you're amazing, okay? Yeah, so that's the story. If you have questions about, this yarn, let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If it's a question I don't know the answer to, I will find the answer or try to. But I'm just so excited. I'm so thrilled. Now, this is a lot of yarn. I totally realize that. And believe me when I say, even though I have so much yarn that I just put on my yarn wall, it was agonizing to pick colorways, because every single colorway of this favorites collection is absolutely immaculate. You really cannot go wrong. So definitely head over to Treehouse Knits Instagram. Look at her feed right now. It's full of her favorites collection colorways. See what speaks to you. See what you want to play with. There are still some colorways that haven't been revealed as of the time of this posting, or of this filming, I should say. So you might be surprised and see some extra colorways that you weren't aware of if you're already up to speed by the time I'm filming this. But anyway, mark your calendars, August 13th at 6 p.m. Central Time. I have no idea if these colorways will make a comeback after this favorites pre-order. So as with all hand-dyed yarn, if you want it, make sure you snag it, because who knows if it will come back. Really quickly before I sign off, I want to tell you my goals for these skeins. You already know the projects I'm going to make, and I thought, how can I tackle these projects in a timely manner and an efficient manner and a fair manner? And I thought, I could just start one and bulldoze through it, and then start another and bulldoze through it. But sorry, no, I'm not going to do that. And here's why. I am too flip-flapping excited about all 4 of these projects that I am not willing to wait on any of them. So today, actually, I'm going to wind up a skein of each colorway, or each base as well, since I have 2 bases of stories that really matter. I'm going to wind up a skein of each into cakes, and I'm going to start swatching. So my goal for the next few weeks and few months is to work on each of those whips every day. We'll see if I can do it. I'm thinking that I can try to commit half an hour a day to each project. That's a lot of time, I realize. But I have some time before the semester starts, so why not? I'm going to be knitting anyway, so I'm going to devote some dedicated time to work on each of those projects every day and see how far I get. And I'll probably do weekly updates to let you know how far I've gotten with these patterns. Maybe if you want to join me, you could get the same colorways or the same bases and we could make a pattern together. But that's what I'll be doing and how I'll be spending my knitting time in the near future. Sorry to all my standing whips, but basically you don't matter right now because I'm too excited about the Treehouse project. So anyway, like I said, if you have questions, let me know. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. If you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you want to be notified when I upload new videos, hit that notification bell. Last but not least, head over to Instagram and follow me at Rachel is Knitting if you don't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.